Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam to all the devotees. Hope the screen is visible. I'm audible there.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, so welcome you all. And today we are starting chapter 16, the divine as well as the demonic natures. So let us start our day with prayers to Shri Radha Govinda and seeking blessings from our Guru Parampara. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupagadamayam Dadadi Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalitam Shri Vishakhanvitamscha हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनीति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. Thank you all for joining this class again. Nice to see you all. Let us have a quick recap from chapter 15 what we learned, and we can see how the chapter 15 is connected with chapter 16, and we can take our understanding forward. So who is to proceed with today's revision? Somebody can take up. Key points are displayed on the screen. So anything you remember, you can just start with. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Who is going ahead? Let us start our session. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaydeep Prabhu, you want to try? Rambika Mataji, Yatika Mataji, Suchana Mataji, Karuna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
In the last chapter, we learned that there is an inverted banyan tree, which is a reflection of the real spiritual tree, and the root of the banyan tree is originating from the Brahmaloka, and according to our desires, the banyan tree grows downwards, and the leaves are the Vedic hymns, and the branches are our sense objects. Then with the acts of detachment, we have to cut the banyan tree, and then only we can attain liberation. So we have to, with our devotional service, we have to develop this detachment, and then and by attachment to Krishna, we will be able to get out of this material world. Then that's all I remember.
No, all very important points you have already covered, Mataji. Very nice. Anybody wish to add to these points?
Hare
So
Krishna
the
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
To surrender to Supreme Lord, we must follow some of the sets of rules, and we must be freed from nirmana, that is false prestige, moha, illusion, chitta dosha, false association, adhyatmantya, that is eternally. We must understand who is eternal. Dvandava vimukta, that means freed from dualities, and vinivritta kama is unbewildered. So we must all quit this to quickly surrender to Supreme Lord. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Thank you very much, Mataji. Very nicely said. So, what differentiate us to go to spiritual world or go down towards material, this banyan tree, is our desire. So, desire for sense enjoyment or desire to serve Supreme Lord will decide which side of the tree we are in. And we also discussed the three modes of material nature. Our conditioning, attachments to the material nature will push us downward. Okay, and it is known as the three modes of material nature is watering this tree, and the fruitive activities are the secondary roots where we are entangled. More we are engaged in sense enjoyment and fruitive activities, more deeper and deeper we go down. And it is said unlimited. The branches are spreading unlimitedly, and we don't know where the end, where the beginning. Beginning we know, that is, it starts from Brahmaloka and going down, and till where it goes we don't know. And then we also discussed about Krishna's position as the maintainer. So when we surrender to Krishna, knowing Bhoktaram Yagnatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhurdam Sarva Bhutanam Yatvamam Shantim Rachyati. When we know Supreme Lord is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and dear friend of all the living entities, He is the Supreme Master, including the demigods, He is the Master, and we are His eternal servants. Once we know, we find peace. And then finally, three sloki we discussed. That is, we discussed about two kind of living entities, and Krishna is above these living entities. One who knows this is the knower of Vedas. This is how we concluded chapter 15. Now we are moving to chapter 16. This talks about transcendental and demonic qualities. There are three sections, 16.1 to 16.6. This talks about different qualities, divine and demonic qualities. And then in detail, Krishna describe about the demonic nature, which is all put us in deep trouble. These are all within us. So we are going to discuss in detail from 16.7 to 20. Large section of this chapter is covering all the demonic qualities which is pushing us down deeper into this material world. And 21 to 24, the choices what we make. With that, how can we escape to the supreme destination? We will learn through this sloka. So the connection between chapter 15 and chapter 16 is, chapter 15, we clearly understood that this material world is a perverted reflection of a spiritual tree, and we are all struggling in this material world. Now we will discuss about what are the qualities which will help us to rise up to the topmost of this material world and then break free from this material world and enter the spiritual world. What are the qualities? And what are the qualities which will further put us down in this deeper and deepest material entanglement? So we will discuss all those qualities through this chapter today. So the first section, transcendental and demonic qualities, 16.1 to 16.66. So the first three sloka talks about 26 saintly qualities which will help us to rise from this material world to the spiritual world. So first three sloka somebody can take up.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhir Jnana Vyavastitihi Danam Damascha Yajnascha Tabas Arja Ahimsa Satyamakrodhas Tyagashandirapaishunam Daya Bhuteshwalo Luptvam Mardavam Hrira Chapalam Tejakshamadridhi Shaucham Adroho Natimanita Bhavanti Sambadam Devim Abhijatasya Bharata. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, fearlessness, purification of one's existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, charity, self-control, performances of sacrifice, study of the Vedas, austerity, simplicity, non-violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to fault-finding, compassion for all living entities, freedom from covetousness, gentleness, modesty, steady determination, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, and freedom from envy and from the passion of honor. These transcendental qualities, O son of Bharata, belong to a godly man endowed with divine nature. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So this chapter, first three sloka talks about the 26 divine qualities which will help us to progress in our transcendental journey back to Supreme Lord. In this word, the Abhijatasya is very, very significant, which says one is born of these transcendental qualities or godly quantities. This is very significant. So the first lesson what we need to take out from this is we are getting into Grihastha Ashrama not only for purifying our sense enjoying propensities, but we are getting into a married life to help each other progressing in Krishna consciousness without further fall down into this material world because of our unsatisfied sense enjoying propensity. Okay, that is the first lesson. Second important thing is our Acharya says that you should not beget children just like cats and dogs without any regulation. By your unregulated sense enjoyment, do not beget kids just like cats and dogs, is what our Acharya says. Rather, we should follow Garbhadhana Samskara and beget a Krishna consciousness child. We have to pray to Krishna to give a Krishna consciousness soul, and then this child is going to spread the Krishna consciousness to the entire society. That should be the reason for somebody getting into a marriage. And then 26 qualities we will discuss in detail. The first is fearlessness, and different qualities is more predominantly attached to certain varna and ashramas. So fearlessness, abhayam, is more for sannyasis who is completely dependent on the mercy of the Lord. And second thing which comes to us is dependency on the Lord. Yeah, when we talk about fearlessness, We discussed before, Rake Krishna Mare Ke, Mare Krishna Rake Ke. When we have surrendered, when we know Krishna is our supreme protector, if Krishna want to protect us, who can destroy us? Or if Krishna want to destroy, who can protect us? With this understanding, when we surrender to the Supreme Lord, all the material miseries, anxieties, stress, everything will go off. That is what we learned in chapter 5, sloka 29, Bhoktaram Yagna Tapasa sloka. And then Srila Prabhupada, our founder Acharya of ISKCON, has exhibited these qualities at that advanced age without any support. He still went to US and spread this Krishna consciousness movement. And then next is purifications of one's existence. That is also for sannyasi, strictly following rules and regulations, forbidding association with a woman. And what we need to understand, the next quality is humility, in which the sannyasi is going begging to door for grihastha not for himself, but he is giving an opportunity for purification of grihasthas. That takes us to the next quality, that is charity. We all join hands and contributed for the temple construction. That is our prime responsibility. For a grihastha, to do charity is very important, and giving right place, right time, right person is also equally important. And charity should always be done as a matter of duty without any expectation. And charity in passion or ignorance, you are doing a charity for some honor, recognition, it is waste of time, is what it is told. And the next quality is sense control. This again is especially for grihasthas. So the unregulated sense enjoyment, sex life, is not recommended. You should always regulate and engage in such activities for propagating Krishna consciousness children. And moving further, sacrifice. Again, grihastha, one of the key sacrifices. Now, all the grihasthas are, as per scriptures, are expected to do Agnihotra Yagnas. But in Kali Yuga, we do not have that kind of, even the material used, the purified material used for such yagnas. So the most inexpensive and the most beneficial yagna is Sankirtana Yagna. That is why so much of emphasis is given on chanting of holy name, association of devotees, doing Sankirtans. And next is Vedic study. So these are all different qualities, 26 qualities, which is going to take us back to the Lord. Vedic study. This is more particularly important for Brahmacharya ashrama. As a student, you have to study the Vedas and spread this knowledge. And then austerities. Austerities is very, very important, and especially for Vanaprastha as we progress. Then the austerity for body, mind, as well as tongue is very important. This is what is putting us down through our material attachment and sense enjoyment. So all regulation in our sense enjoyment is austerity for body, and fixing up our mind always at the lotus feet of Krishna by chanting the holy name is austerity for the mind. And chanting the holy name, honoring prasad, honoring only prasad is the austerity for the tongue. And without these austerities, it is very difficult for us to break free from our sense enjoyments as well as material attachment, is what it is said. And simplicity, live a life very simple. Simple living, high thinking is what Prabhupada always recommended. And then non-violence. What is non-violence? It is checking progressive life of any living entity. If we are cutting any hen hen, goat, or anything for our sense enjoyment, we are stopping its natural progression to next transmigration. And as a result, we have to go through all the karma of such non-violence we are engaging. And truthfulness in all our dealing. Next quality is freedom from anger. This again is very, very important. Anger, holding grudges, it is one of the senior devotees. He was comparing, giving a beautiful analogy that holding grudges, holding anger is like holding a hot charcoal in your hand. Longer you hold, it is going to hurt you more. And then next is renunciation. We discussed at length about renunciation, yukta vairagya. Anasaktasya vishayam yataram upayunjato nirbandha Krishna sambandhe yukta vairagya uchyate. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.255. So we have learned that we need to accept dry renunciation is not recommended by our acharyas. We have to accept everything we can utilize for the service of the Supreme Lord and reject everything which takes us away from the Supreme Lord. Tranquility, aversion to fault finding. Again, this is again a very important thing. We always tend to find faults in others and we think we are always perfect. It is always should be other way around. We should always see good things what others are doing and find faults within us. And then compassion. Compassion is very important. Again, what you eat plays a predominant role. When you stop eating meat, you naturally develop compassion within you. Other day, I was seeing a neighbor's son. There was a frog going on the road, and the son is taking a big stone and is trying to hit that frog. Whereas my son was trying to stop that. So looking at that, we understand if we are avoiding eating meat, we get these qualities of compassion naturally. And then determination. Determination is very important. Determination, patience, we have discussed. Nectar of Instruction, Shloka 3. Utsaha nischaya dhairya tat karma pravartanat sangatyaga sato vritte sadbir bhakti prasidyati. This gives 6 ways for progressing in our devotional service. And one of the thing is Utsaha Nishchaya Dhairya. That is determination, enthusiasm, and patience is very important. And then forgiveness. Forgiving minor offenses of others is very important. When we are not able to forgive others, how can we expect Krishna to forgive our mistakes? Right? And then fortitude, the mental and emotional strength in difficult situation. How do we develop this? By the understanding from the scriptures, by listening to our Shiksha Gurus, that if we are able to see Krishna's hands in every situation, at that situation we may be going through very difficult times. But it is Krishna's plans for us to go through the difficult times for our better future. Yeah. And then enviousness. One of the key reason we are here in this material world is because of our enviousness. So we need to be free from that quality. Freedom from passion for honor, recognition. We discussed about a beautiful sloka. Sarvopadi vinirmuktam tat paratvena nirmalam rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhakti ruchyate. So in these two important things, two aspects of our life, what we try to understand is sense enjoyment is not the purpose of this life. We have to engage these senses in service of Rishikesha, the master of senses. That is one aspect. Second is Sarvopadi Vinirmuktam. You have to rise above all the material designations. So do not hanker for such designations. That is what These are some of the 26 key qualities which will help us to progress further. And now, through further slokas, we will try to understand what are the qualities which will take us away from Krishna, which will continue to put us down deeper into this darkest region of material world, the hellish region. Somebody can take up. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, please take up faster.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mata.
Bando darpo bhimanascha krodha parushyameva cha ajnanam cha bijatasya partha sampadam asurim. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Ignorance, pride, anger, conceit, harshness, and ignorance. These qualities belong to those of demonic nature, O son of Partha.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. So in this word, the royal road to hell is clearly described. These are all the qualities which will definitely take us to hell. The demonic people are always arrogant and proud of what they possess. Their education, their positions, their wealth, and they desire to be worshipped by others in the society. They demand respect. And it is said that just like all the abhijatasya in previous verses we have learned, the divine qualities we take from the birth, similarly all these demonic qualities will also comes within when the person is within the womb of their mother. It all depends on what kind of karmas he has done in his previous births. Let's move to next sloka.
Devi sambat vimokshaya suri ta shujas sambivim abhijadosi pandava.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. The
Yes.
transcendental qualities are conducive to liberation, whereas the demonic qualities make for bondage. Do not worry, O son of Pandu, for you are born with the divine qualities. Hare Krishna.
Yes. So here Krishna is encouraging Arjuna that you have born with divine qualities. You are not born with demonic qualities. So your involvement in this fight is not demonic, is what Krishna is telling Arjuna. And Arjuna is fighting this war not for his own honor or some of the material opulences. He is fighting because of the instructions of the Supreme Lord, by the will of Supreme Lord. And is not fighting for the anger, hatred, or false prestige. And one more important thing, we understand for a Kshatriya, it is important to fight. A military man shooting arrows or bullets towards his enemy is considered transcendental. At the same time, for a Kshatriya, if he is refraining from his such duty, such a character is known as demonic. So what do we learn from this is we all have to engage in our prescribed duties. We all have our responsibilities. So we have to look at those responsibilities as the mercy of Krishna for our purification to go back. So that is what I always tell one who is taking up bhakti, one who is taking up Krishna consciousness. He do not run away from his responsibilities, but he only brings out the best in himself. It may be his relationship with his spouse or a professional relationship or a society. He is always bringing the best and doing good for everybody. So here, the transcendental qualities as well as the demonic qualities we discussed, the transcendental qualities is very conducive for liberation, whereas the demonic qualities lead to bondage in this material world. Next sloka. Hare Krishna. Yes, Mata.
द्वौ भूतसर्गौ लोकेऽस्मिन् दैव आसुर एव च दैवो विस्तरसः प्रोक्त आसुरं पार्थ मे शृणु हरे कृष्ण
Thank you, Mata.
O son of Pritha, in this world there are two kinds of created beings. One is called the divine and other demonic. I have already explained to you at length the divine qualities. Now hear from me of the demonic. Hare
Yes.
Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So, having described all the divine qualities at length, now Krishna is now describing the demonic way how a living entity falls down in this material world. And it is said there are two kind of being are created. One is divine and next is demonic. And both divine as well as demonic is created by the Prajapati. The Brahma creates both divine as well as demonic. And what is the difference? What do you think is the difference between a divine or a demonic person? Hare Krishna. Any thoughts?
Kindness, Prabhuji.
Yes. So, following regulative principles, following Shastras, one who follows all four regulative principles, naturally the divine quality will manifest within him. Those who still continue to engage in these four regulative, break the regulative rules and live like animals, they are known as demons, demonic qualities. So we have to rise above this to progress in our Krishna consciousness. We are now moving to the next section where a demonic nature is discussed at length. Somebody can take up the shloka, please.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
प्रवृत्तिं च निवृत्तिं च जना न विदुरासुराः न शौचं नापि चाचारो न सत्यं तेषु विद्यते. हरे कृष्ण.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare
Those
Krishna.
who are demonic do not know what is to be done and what is not to be done. Neither cleanliness nor proper behavior nor truth is found in them. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. So here, one of the very important life lessons, what we need to understand is those who do not follow the scriptural injection, do not follow the rules, regulative principles, and they don't have the inclination to follow. That is even more important. Many of us were engaging in some or the other of these sinful activities. When I look back, I myself was eating meat. Having known this, you not having the inclination to reduce, regulate, and stop it, that is even more dangerous. As said, by ignorance, many don't even know that eating meat is sinful, drinking alcohol is sinful, and what is said is they don't even want to know. Many do not take up to study of scriptures, do not want to take up Bhagavad Gita classes. First thing they feel is, if I have to take up these classes, then I have to leave meat eating. I have to leave drinking alcohol. And many times I was making this mistake. First thing, when in my initial days, if I want to bring any of my friend to Krishna consciousness, first thing I used to tell is, I have left meat eating. That is a very alarm signal for them. Oh, if I join this class, I also have to stop eating meat, then they will run away. Rather than saying what you left, you have to tell what you got. What higher taste you got, so that you left all these lower taste. We learn in Bhagavad Gita chapter 2, 59 sloka, Vishaya vinivartante niharasya dehina rasavarjam raso apyasya param drištva nivartate. Param drištva nivartate, the higher taste. Though we are trying to regulate, trying to restrict our sense enjoyment, engaging in sinful activities, but the taste for those sense objects always remains. How can we rise above this? Is experiencing the higher taste for holy name, experience the higher taste for devotional service, experiencing the higher taste for listening what is told in Shastras. This higher taste will help you to reduce all this hankering for this sense enjoyment, and you develop your divine qualities and leave all the demonic qualities. So it is said here, the characteristics of demonic nature: don't know what to be done, what not to be done, unclean, improper behavior, untruthful to your partners, untruthful to your friends, family, society. So here, from scriptures, from purport, what we bring our life lessons from these things is, as per Vedic injunction, it is said that women should not be given freedom. This is many times misquoted, and there will be debates at length why women should not be given freedom. So what we need to understand is, it is not freedom, but women need protection. It is said by our acharyas in scriptures that woman is always to be under the protection of her father or a husband or a son. Even Manusmriti says, but the people with demonic nature do not agree for such instruction and live a miserable life. Now, having said that, there is always a section of people say, why it is said that equality, where is equality then, right? So what we need to say is, what I heard from our Siksha Gurus, read in scriptures, it is not that men or women are equal. That is not the way you need to see. Definitely men and women are not equal, but they are unique. Every man and every woman has their own unique needs. What does a general 90% of the category, when we see 90% of the women, what they need is in their relationship. And again, I'm touching this as part of the successful relationship. As said, the successful married life, how one can have a successful married life, by understanding this knowledge that woman in any relationship, what she expect love, caring, little attention from her spouse, and respect. This is what woman needs. And what does men want? Men always want to be respected. You want to have the control and sense enjoyment. So when an husband and wife are together in a married relationship, if an husband and wife keep Krishna in center and try to help each other with these needs, then they grow much stronger. We need to understand that women are very emotionally strong, as well as they are very good at multitasking. They can manage the entire house, kids, family. They can manage office, multiple things they can do. The strong point of men is they are very determined. If they want to do something, they are lot more determined. So when we see this, both men as well as women are are unique and they have unique needs. And in a married relationship, when an husband and wife understand these needs and help each other with this by keeping Krishna in center, by doing this, even a complex relationship can be smoothened and they can progress very happily in presence of keeping Krishna in center. Hope this helps you all. And then we can move again these points. We can continue to debate. There are always an exception. 10% exception is always there, both in women or men, but largely men and women comes under this category, these qualities. And if we can help each other, we will jointly can progress in Krishna consciousness. What we have to understand from the beginning itself, we have come together to support each other's weaknesses, complement each other's strength, and help each other to progress in Krishna consciousness. At philosophical level platform, we need to understand we are not this men nor this woman. We are the spirit soul, and the purpose is to engage in devotional service and to go back. But being in this material body, we have our weaknesses, which is pulling us down in this material world. That is what the spouse in opposite sex can help an husband or a wife and progress. This is one of the secret of married life in Krishna consciousness. So now let us move on to the next shloka. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mother.
Asatyam apratištam te jagadahuraniśwaram aparaspara sambhudam kim manyat kamahaitukam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes,
They say that this world is unreal, that there is no foundation, and that there is no God in control. It is produced of sex desire and has no cause other than lust.
yes. So this is how a proud atheist looks at the world. And they conclude, Prabhupada gives a very nice word. They conclude this world as phantasmagoria. That is, he concludes that there is no cause, no effect, there is no controller, there is no purpose of this life. Everything is unreal, everything is for sense enjoyment. And they think that this universe is created by chance. And they conclude child is a result of sexual intercourse, sense enjoyment between men and women, and body is born without any soul. There is no soul, it is just body. So from modern science point of view, if we see this body, the material body is made up of only 11 chemicals, in which 99% of our body, the mass is created by 6 elements, which is oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, calcium, and phosphorus. And another 0.85% is composed of another 5 elements, which is potassium, sulfur, sodium, chlorine, and magnesium. So now I think I have gave this example even before this analogy. If you do anything, create any product with 99.85% accuracy, same product has been put, don't you think that product has to be 99.85% same? But if we look at ourselves, our entire bodily features are different. The way I look and the students here, they're all totally different. Though they have 2 eyes, nose, mouth, ear, head, but the way they look is different. The way they feel is different. The way they respond to any given particular situation is different. So this cannot be explained by any modern day scientist or big scholars. So the demonic philosophies, they think the world is unreal, no God in control, no cause other than lust. Thus, this world is produced for sex desire, is what they think. Next sloka. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Etam drishtim avastabhya nashtatmanolpabuddhayah prabhavantya ugra karmana shayaya jagato hitaah. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Following such conclusions, the demonic, who are lost to themselves and who have no intelligence, engage in unbeneficial, horrible works meant to destroy the world. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. So here the demonic are engaged in such activities which will only lead to destruction. They think that they are advancing in this modern thing, but they are destroying the nature, isn't it? And Lord says such person are less intelligent, though they are thinking they are advancing, but clearly they are foolish. And then what kind of attitude and engagement? They are all engaged in ugra karma, which leads to painful, horrible, and destructive act. All their inventions are for further encouraging more of sense enjoyment and leading to destruction indirectly. And in this verse, it is indicating that the invention of nuclear weapon, which can destroy the whole world, but today the man is very proud about that, such inventions. Next sloka.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Kamam asritya dushpuram dambhamanamadanvitaha mohad grihitva sadgrahan pravartandeshu chivrataha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. The demonic, taking shelter of insatiable lust, pride, and false prestige, and being thus illusioned, are always sworn to unclean work, attracted by the impermanent. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. So here, the, the demonic people's lust never satisfies. They will go on increasing and increasing and increasing unlimitedly. It is, we have discussed, like adding fuel to the fire. And as a result, what is happening? They're always full of anxiety, stress. And as a result of accepting this non-permanent thing, they continue to live in illusion. And they have no knowledge, nor they do not want to have this knowledge that they are heading in a wrong direction. And result of this is more of sense enjoyment and more of material attachment. The word here, Ashuchi Vrata, unclean vows, is significant. So the demonic people are always attracted towards women, wine, gambling, and meat eating. So these are the 4 regulative principles our acharyas have said we should not engage, so that all our demonic qualities go away and divine qualities start manifest within our heart, and we progress in this transcendental path. Last 2 sloka for the day, and then we'll conclude for today.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Can I read?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Chintamaparimeyanch pralayantamupashritaha kamopabhoga parama etavaditi nischitaha asha pashashatair baddha कामक्रोधपरायणाः ईहन्ते कामभोगार्थ मन्यायेनार्थसञ्चयान्. हरे कृष्णा. धन्यवाद.
Thank you, Mataji.
They believe that to gratify the senses unto the end of life is the prime necessity of human civilization. Thus, there is no end of their anxiety. Being bound by hundreds and thousands of desires, by lust and anger, they secure money by illegal means for sense gratification. Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
Mataji. So, large section of the population today having this demonic thinking, they think that sense enjoyment is the purpose of their life. They're working so hard in this material world for better sense enjoyment. And with this concept, they maintain till the death, and only by ignorance they waste this very rare human life. And they don't even believe that there is a life after death. They think this is one life, enjoy to the fullest. We have learnt in Bhagavad Gita, Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yavvanam jara. So there is a life after death. Soul transmigrates, and the kind of life we have lived, whether with demonic qualities or divine qualities, will decide our next birth. The demonic quality, the person has no faith in the Supreme Lord, and he continue to engage in sinful activity and sense gratification activity. We have learned from chapter 15, sloka 15, Sarvasya chaham ridhi sannivisto mata smritir jnanam apohanam cha. This Krishna clearly saying that he resides in everybody's heart and he is the witness. There are two birds, analogy is given. One is enjoying the fruit, the other is witnessing. The witness is the Paramatma within. So he is witnessing all our demonic actions, and as a result, we continue to fall and we have to face the consequence of our life. So with this, I will stop our discussion here. It's a short chapter. Rest we will cover tomorrow. Any quick questions from the discussions today, or any realization? And hope you all have marked your attendance. Hare Krishna. All have marked the attendance?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Yes,
So
Prabhuji.
how was the class? Any questions? Anything to share?
Prabhuji, it was a very good insight on the relationship to maintain. Like mutual respect is the one thing, and what like women look for the respect only. Whatever they do, it is the thing. Like in our society, if you stay at home, so what do? You do nothing. This is how women are treated, and this is the only thing which hurt them. And start with the frictions and all the distances and all. So it is so well said that mutual respect is very important for each other, and let the man be the controller of the family and play the role. Like what is the role for a woman should play her role honestly, and
Yes. Yes,
others
Mataji.
has to respect and understand. So it is very important point, and it will definitely help us to have a better bonding and better harmony in the family, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you,
you very much.
Prabhuji.
Thank you very much, Mataji. Hope. Thank you for appreciating those things. So both men and women has a particular role in the family. Men need women help. Similarly, women need men help, and both have to help each other to address their weaknesses and move further. So one of my Siksha Guru who is practicing bhakti for almost 35 years, is doing lot of counseling. So many families go to him for both such issues. Then he was sharing, one couple came, they are practicing devotees. and Mataji was telling lot of issues going on in married life with her husband. And after that, when they left, this Mataji and Prabhu, my Shiksha Guru, they were talking to each other. They are grihasthas practicing bhakti for 35 years. So this Prabhuji asked her wife Mataji that this lady is going through so much of difficulty. Why don't she leave this person? So the other Mataji says that today she has to tolerate only one man. If she is leaving him, she has to tolerate 100 men in the society. This is a very big eye opener. So nobody is big, small in the family. We are here to go back to Krishna and help each other, complement each other to progress in Krishna consciousness and go back to Krishna. So this is the main purpose. Two purposes: to go back to Krishna, help each other to go back to Krishna and beget Krishna consciousness children, develop an environment at home to progress in Krishna consciousness. So that is the purpose. Yeah. So in this purpose, to meet this purpose, little inconveniences, we have to be little tolerant, accept other person as they are, and help each other and progress. So this is the big lesson we can take away from our scriptures, right? Thank you very much. Any other points, any questions before we wind up? We have 2 more minutes. Right, then request you all to come back tomorrow. It's a very important chapter. We have to conclude another 2 more chapters. Please hold on to this association and successfully complete your advanced Bhagavad Gita classes, right? Vancha kalpatarubhasya cha kripa sindubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnavavrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. All glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.